Joining us now, the author of iWar, our friend of many years, Bill Gertz. Of course, he also writes and is a senior editor at the Washington Free Beacon. Bill, nice timing on the book, my friend. How are you?
Hi, Laura. Great to be on the show. Thanks.
Let's talk about the hyperventilation about Russia and its influence in the democratic process. The unclassified report came out last Friday, had very little information in it, 5 pages long, and it wasn't clear after reading that, in my mind, whether Russia wanted to help Trump or just debilitate Hillary Clinton and hurt her, because as far as I could tell, at least what I read, they believed that Hillary was going to win the election. So what should we be thinking about the current state of things vis-a-vis the election itself?
Yeah, I think the intelligence report kind of muddled their message. And what they missed, and this is what I focus on in iWar, is that Russia and Putin regard the United States as their main enemy. This is not about politics, whether it's Trump or Hillary. It's about defeating the United States. And he's been engaged in this thing for 10 years. So it even goes beyond Obama. But under Obama, I can remember in the early stages of the Obama administration, the intelligence community, the law enforcement community, the security community were all ordered by the White House not to say anything bad about Vladimir Putin. And this was because of Hillary's ridiculous reset, which was a disaster. And then, so basically they facilitated the rise of this neo-fascist dictator. And then all of a sudden, when Trump wins the election, they're trying to say now that, the Russians are behind Trump. And it's clear Trump is going to try to do a reset with Russia. I don't think it's going to work. And there's no reason that Russia should want Trump. Trump has said he's going to do peace through strength. He's going to build up our military. And I think he has a good understanding of the threat from Russia.
Well, who has a better chance of we all want to improve relations with other countries. We want to improve relations with Russia. If you took a poll right now, Bill, and the question was, do you want to commit U.S. troops to defend Lithuania? If Russia just decides, we're taking Lithuania back. What do you think the percentage of Americans who would support military action to support Lithuania? I'm just saying we need a better relationship with Russia. Look, I'm the biggest skeptic of Russia for so many reasons. I lived in former Soviet Union. I speak Russian. I have 2 Russian sons. Been there a lot of times over the past 7 and 8 years, 7 times. So I know the country really well. I know the political system, scarily well. They are nationalistic at heart, and they have great ambitions. There's no doubt about it. But they're also under an enormous amount of pressure on the inside, and the idea that we should continue to try to ramp up pressure on Russia. I guess, but what is our end game here? What is the end game with Russia?
Well, Well, NATO is, basically, like Europe is kind of wallowing in trying to figure out what they want to do. They're not defending their civilization at all.
Right. So we should.
They've got this influx.
This is my point. I'm just throwing out these little bomblets here. Again, America is $19 trillion in debt. We have to get our economy going again. We have been stumbling through this recovery. We have all this internal strife in our country, racial strife, all this problem with violent crime. We have an open border to our south, and 20 million people here. Undoubtedly, it's not 11 million. It's like 20 million people here who are working illegally, living illegally, some of them criminal elements, some of them not. And I just think whenever America gets into that much trouble on the domestic front, Americans are just they're not going to be rah-rah to let's go, save Europe, because Europe is too stupid to see what the threat is to itself, whether it's the migration crisis or anything else. And I just think there's not going to be appetite for that unless this economy starts humming again, which has to happen.
Right. Well, that's my whole point of iWar, that we can do these things without having to send troops there if we understand the mechanics of information warfare. Unfortunately, the U.S. is woefully behind. The Russians understand it. The Chinese understand it. The North Koreans understand it. The Islamic State understands it. The U.S. is lost in space. You played that clip by Obama. He doesn't know anything about what to deal with these information age threats. He's living in this postmodern delusional dream world where everybody's supposed to sit around the campfire and sing Kumbaya among nations. And it's just like I said, it's a delusion. We're at war already. It's an information war. It's not going to be kinetic. And the Chinese, it's Sun Tzu, the art of defeating your enemy without firing a shot. And the Russians are working in the same thing. It's obviously, it's war on the cheap, basically. And we've got to get smart in this area. I think that's really the solution.
Well, and Donald Trump has said that they're going to renew and relaunch our counter cyber strategy against our adversaries. And when I heard everyone hyperventilating about Russia and the election, I was like, well, duh. Of course they're doing this. I mean, the idea that they're not doing this would be the news if they weren't trying to influence our elections. And given what we know China took from us and continues to take from us, and what you document and remind us of, because we all have such short attention spans, just what the State Department became vulnerable. State Department information, State Department emails became so vulnerable with Hillary Clinton's private email server. Right at the beginning of your book on page 71, you said, under pressure from Congress, the new details of the FBI probe were made public. And you remind us that the FBI did find that hostile foreign actors gained access to the personal email accounts of individuals with whom Clinton was in regular contact, and in doing so, obtained emails sent to or received by Clinton on her personal account. The secrets found among the emails included information classified as top secret and part of what are called special access programs, or SAPs. This category of classified info is so sensitive the data must be protected with extraordinary secrecy. Foreign actors have already gotten this information from Hillary Clinton, but it's all Trump's fault. It's all Trump being too close to Putin. That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. And I want to make the point that nothing has been done. First it was WikiLeaks and Bradley Manning leaking tens of thousands of documents.
Right.
Nothing was done to tighten security after that. Then it was Snowden, and then it was Hillary's email server. I mean, this has been a characteristic of the Obama administration, complete disregard for the security of information. They're absolutely lost in space when it